Have you ever noticed you don't just like dogs, you feel something deeper? There's this moment when your dog looks into your eyes and everything else just goes quiet. No overthinking, no pressure, no pretending, just connection. And what's crazy is, science actually says that moment is real. When you and your dog look at each other, your brain releases oxytocin, the same chemical behind a mother bonding with her child. So this isn't just affection, it's something much deeper. Which raises a question most people never ask. What does the way you love your dog say about you? You don't see your dog as just a pet. They're your safe place. And there's a psychological reason for that. Humans are wired for something called attachment. It's the system in your brain that decides who feels safe, who feels like home. For some people, that bond is strongest with other humans. But for you, your dog feels easier, safer, more real. Because with them, there's no confusion, no mixed signals, no emotional games, just consistency. And if you've ever felt like people were unpredictable, distant, or hard to trust, your brain adapts. It finds safety where it can. And sometimes, that safest place becomes your dog. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your mind chose peace over chaos. You've probably noticed something. You understand your dog without words. A look, a small movement, the way they sit next to you differently when you're not okay, and you feel it instantly. That's not normal awareness. That's empathy at a high level. People who truly love dogs tend to be more emotionally attuned. You read energy. You notice shifts. You feel things deeply. And here's the interesting part. Your dog trains that ability every single day. Because loving a dog means paying attention without language. It means being present. And over time, you become someone who doesn't just hear emotions, you sense them. That's why you connect deeply, but also get drained easily. Because feeling everything so intensely, it's a gift, but it's also heavy. There's something else. Something you don't always say out loud. Your dog didn't just add happiness to your life. They filled a space, a quiet kind of loneliness. The kind where you're surrounded by people, but still feel alone. And your dog changed that. Because with them, you matter. Every single day. You're not invisible. You're not replaceable. You're their person. And that does something powerful to your mind. It gives you a reason to wake up, a sense of responsibility, a kind of connection that doesn't feel forced. And in a world where everything feels uncertain, your dog becomes something stable, something real. For a lot of people, that's not just comforting, it's life-changing. Here's what separates you from most people. You understand a kind of love that doesn't keep score. Your dog doesn't care about your past, your mistakes, your bad days. They just stay. And when you experience that every day, it changes you. You become more patient, more forgiving, more present, because you've seen proof that love doesn't have to be complicated. And slowly, you start giving that same kind of love to others. Not perfectly, but more than most people ever do. Because once you've felt unconditional love, you don't forget it. You carry it. But there's one thing you need to be aware of. Sometimes loving your dog feels easier than loving people, because people are messy. They misunderstand you. They leave. They hurt you. And your dog never does. So it's natural to choose the safer option. But if your world slowly becomes just you and your dog, that's not peace. That's protection. And there's a difference. Your dog isn't here to replace human connection. They're here to remind you what real connection feels like, so you can build it with people too. So, if you truly love dogs, it says a lot about you. It says you feel deeply, you love fully, you notice things most people ignore. It means you've learned how powerful simple presence can be. And maybe your dog didn't just come into your life for no reason. maybe they shaped you into someone more human.